Hey guys, hi. Welcome to Grow to Glow. Welcome to Inspiration. It's great to be here and thank you for tuning in. Now, I am Dr. Thashna Walsh, by the way, if you've never met me before. Um, and I am here just to answer some questions and also to give you some insights. And I do this every week. I post a video answering a question or giving insights on something that I saw, read, or something just popped up in my head, in my heart that I wanted to share, or answering questions, or approaching some topics that someone would have written in and asked me to talk about. So today, it's I've got quite a few things on the list here. What I'm thinking, oh, what should I do today? And I'm going to go for this one. I was watching a movie the other day, but I was listening to something yesterday, and I was watching a movie sometime last week. I think it was last Friday, and these two things came up where the person in the movie said, is it, you see, they were in the park and they were looking at a couple of ladies having a really good time. They were cartwheeling and they were laughing and having a really nice time. And they weren't drinking or anything like that. It was just really enjoy. And um, and the person in the star of the movie was sitting there talking to a friend of hers, and she was like, they just look so fake. Can that really be true? Can they really be feeling that happy? And then yesterday, I was listening to something, and they were talking about happiness, and you know, um, it's been a while that they felt true happiness. And again, there's something that popped up from Marcy Shimoff a few days ago about being happy for no reason. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's a topic I really definitely want to talk about because um, I know that if you talk to people about happiness, it's almost like it seems so far-fetched, you know? It's almost like they don't believe that it is possible. Um, People are just, oh, it's so sad. It's so sad that people don't feel that happiness is actually possible for them. I mean, it's a question my boyfriend and I ask each other all the time. Are you happy? And and we have to answer really honestly. And my answers have always been, yes, I truly am. And and sometimes I ask it of my own self, especially on days when I'm not feeling the brightest. I have to check in with myself. Am I truly happy? What does that mean to be happy? What does it mean to be happy? And that's probably one of the things that we need to ask ourselves is what does it mean for you to be happy? Does happiness mean you wake up every morning, you have breath in your lungs and you're healthy, you got food on your table, a roof over your head, you got a car, you got a job, you know, um, and you got people that love you and life is great. What is happiness for you? Is happiness just having the ability to make ends meet and just living that, knowing that I'm alive and I'm well and that's enough? Or is happiness meaning that I need to work and earn this amount of money so that I can have this house and this car and I can live over here and I can do this and I can travel the world? What is happiness for you? Because happiness is so important for the life that we are wanting to live. And if you're finding that you're living life and you're not feeling happy, that is not a life. That's a survival. That is just like living in survival. Um, and so it's important to really tune in to what it means to be happy and check in with yourself. Am I happy? And how do I get my happy on? Because happiness is important, especially if you're in a manifesting business. Because, like I said before, the karmic cycles that we're on, if they're not in happiness, then you're not going to be experiencing any happy. Okay. But if they are happiness inspired and you're feeling happy when you're doing things and you're going about your life, then you're just going to create more of that. So it's absolutely is possible to be that happy all the time. You can just be happy for no reason. You can be happy for no reason. And that is a space everybody should be thriving, or not thriving, everybody should be aspiring to live in, because that's where everything that you want is. Everything vibrates at that frequency of happiness. Everything that you want. So the house that's going to make you happy vibrates at the frequency of happy. The car that's going to make you happy vibrates at the frequency of happy. But you have to have the happiness inside you before you can attract these things into your life easily, if you want to do it the easy way. Yeah, the harder way is grind and hustle and stress and push and overwork yourself and go to a job 24/7, well, 24/7, 9 to 5, 5 days a week, sometimes six or even seven, doing overtime and not really having any time for yourself, for your family, for your relationships. And that is not happy. For me anyway. Some people are addicted to the work life and like to, but again, even if you're addicted to it, a lot of times you're hiding away from something. I'm just going to say that. You might not like it, but I think so. I think life should be balanced. And if you're just working all the time, you don't have time for relationships, you don't have time for love, you don't have time for yourself to chill out and let your spirit come and speak to you and bring you to a state of psychological and spiritual elevation, then you are not really balancing that raft of that life raft. And also, you know, so you might have lots of money in the bank, but then your relationship's kind of rubbish. You have a really great relationship, you got no money. You got great spirituality, you got no money. There should be a balance of all of these things. And that's what makes us happy, truly happy. Because a lot of people will say, yeah, money doesn't make you happy. Doesn't it? You're absolutely right. It doesn't make you happy. But what does make you happy is knowing that you have the freedom to get and do the things that you want to do. It's the freedom that you have. Okay. But that kind of happiness is already cultivated inside of you. So that when you do have the money, you know exactly what you're going to do to make to help other people find their happy. And also it makes you feel good. It gives you that joyous feeling, that feeling of happy when you get them to share and to give and to elevate and to help others. Yeah. So, no, someone loving on you can't make you happy if you're not happy already. Um, Having lots of money can't make you happy if you're not happy already. Having people, having the best boyfriend in the whole world can't make you happy if you're not happy already. And you're going to find that you're going to mess up that relationship anyway, because if you're so miserable and nothing's satisfying to you, you're not grateful about anything, eventually, because those energies are not meeting. If somebody's here to love and then you're not loving, they may be there and they may stay, but eventually you're just going to keep missing each other. You're going to be missing all that good stuff, and you're not going to be growing. So it's important to take a step back, which is why being single is so important, because I didn't even know about that for a long, long, long time. I was just going from one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next. Probably have 6 months in between. But I certainly didn't spend years just getting to know myself and loving on myself and feeling happy within myself. Because as soon as you start feeling happy within yourself, and usually it's about 6 months after a relationship, you start going, okay, right, I'm starting to love myself. And then you meet somebody, and then before you know, you're in a relationship. That's how it used to be for me. And until I had to say, no, actually, no. And a year gone by, and somebody else goes, oh, I'd like to take you out. And, no, not dating right now. And it was such an empowering thing to actually open my mouth and say, because I love myself enough to give myself the time of day to feel joy and love within myself, for myself, on myself, not because of somebody else. Um, and so when you start living from that space anyway, anything that you want, you attract. You attract the right people to you. And I remember when I had given myself 2 years off relationships, and then I met someone, and it was almost just like a fluke. A friend of mine, we went out and we said, okay, let's set an intention. I want to meet this kind of guy. And she said, I want to meet this kind of guy. And an hour into our night out, we met the exact guy. I met this fireman, and she met this guy from the Navy, and it was just really bizarre. But instantly, I knew the guy I met. I wasn't really that interested, but he was very persistent, And I kind of took that persistence as, okay, let's just be open to this and see what happens. And then being open to it, because he lived kind of miles away anyway, it gave me the opportunity to actually feel it out. You know, what am I doing here? What is this? Is this right for me? But every time like Guy and I came together, it was just like, nah, I'm not really feeling it. There's always something niggling at the back. One of the things was he didn't read at all. And he just regurgitates whatever he heard on the TV and things like that. And I'm thinking, okay, so that's the plane you live in. And I'm looking for someone I can really relate to on a spiritual level. I'm thinking, okay, you're not there. You're not there, and that's not your thing. And me sitting down and watching TV 24/7 is not my thing. So I was picking up on all the things that weren't aligned for me until eventually 6, 7 months later, I was just like, okay, that is done. It's done. But I had to go through that again because then I gave myself a few more months before I met someone that I had met before. And that person kind of woke me up to say, look, this isn't right. And it took me so many moments of looking at those two last relationships before the current one I'm in at the moment. Um, to realize that actually, when you really drop in and start loving on yourself and forgetting the relationship, but having that deep relationship with yourself, that's where it's all at. And I remember when I really felt that after that 2 year break and those two mini relationships, I call them, because I didn't really develop into real relationships. Um, But then when I really got the space then, after doing that, I got the space then to really allow myself to look at myself as the relationship I'm in. Oh, it was the best thing I ever did. And doing that just brought me to a space of pure love and my discernment, all of that kind of just took the front seat. It was just like God sat down on the front seat and going, okay, thank you, about time. That can't happen until you take that time and this, get into that space. Sorry, I was trying to check my question again. Get into that space to feel good about yourself. That way you could attract the right things. And then a year later, when I felt like I was ready, not because people were kept telling me, oh, who's in your life now? Or I felt like I needed something to hold on to make me feel like I was worthy, or I was worthy of love, or somebody's going to be there to give me love. It wasn't for that. It was like I was ready to share. I was ready to share and grow with someone. And that's when I met my current boyfriend, who is just the joy of my life. It's just like, oh, and it's like nothing I have experienced before, nothing I've experienced before. And there is no angst in it. It's just easy, it's relaxed, it's breezy. We get on, we communicate, we do things together, we do things apart. We love talking to each other, we admire each other, we love each other. And but I'm not a crutch for him, and he's not a crutch for me. We're just two individuals coexisting, loving each other, sharing and growing together. It's beautiful. And that's where true happiness is when you are already bringing that 100% to your relationship. You're bringing it to your life. That way, you're not relying on someone to bring it to you, and then their glass is empty, and then they act out, and then when your glass is empty, you act out. We're both filling our cup up with the happiness that we deserve. Okay, so how do you then get into that happy space? Again, I think I talk about it on every video. It's creating, it's creating a vibration, a loving vibration. So it's focusing on the things that you love. It's focus on the things that bring you joy. It's focus on the things that make your heart go, and they're everywhere. They're everywhere. I don't care what you're going through. There's something you can be grateful for, because the fact that you are alive is gratitude. And then some people may think, I don't want to. I don't even see what the point of living is or point of life is. But The point of life is for you to learn these things so that you can get to your joy. And when you're feeling in that space where you're feeling like I can't get out, I don't know how to get out, it hurts too much. That's when you really need to dig in because the gold is right on the other side. You know, it's right on the other side. And you just need to dig a little bit deeper and take a few more breaths. And then if you're listening to this, give me a call. Give me a call so we can talk about stuff. And but in order to feel the happiness that you deserve, you have to give yourself the happiness. And then the happiness will just keep coming to you from other aspects because you're vibrating at that frequency of happiness. So, yes, it's absolutely very possible to be happy and be happy all the time. It's possible, and it's possible for you. It's possible for me. It's possible for you because some of the stuff that I've come from, relationships wise, childhood wise, from teenage years, and growing up in Jamaica, it those times were really tough, really hard. And but I don't you don't allow those things to define you. You allow them, well, you can allow them to define you in a positive way. And said, look, this is where I came from, but look at what it brought me, because all of those things serve the purpose. They serve the purpose if you were willing to do the work, to learn the lesson, to learn the forgiveness, to learn to turn things around, and to then start attracting the life that you truly, truly want. Okay, so you want to be happy? I can help you do that. Book an ignition call with me. The link is below and we can have a conversation. The ignition calls are an hour long. And so we can get into some of the nitty gritty of what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and where you want to go, and how we can take you there. So during that call, I will be introducing you to a 10-week coaching program. There is no obligations. I'll just be introducing it to you because I feel that this coaching program has all the tools that you need to get out of the rut that you don't want to be in, to create a new rut of the life that you want to be in. Okay, so it's bringing you from the despondency, the fear, the stress, the hustle, the hassle, into joy, into a life of ease, into a life of security and freedom. Who doesn't want that? Okay, so thank you for staying tuned. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, like the video if you're enjoying it, and also leave your comments in the comment section. Any questions at all, please also leave that in the comment section, and I'll be happy to indulge. Thank you again for staying tuned. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love. Mwah. Big hugs.